And I'm saying this with all my love, but that doesn't make sense. You cannot expect yourself to have experience without going through the process of experiencing things. So you have to be open to accept clients even though you don't feel 100% ready. You have to be okay with posting your opinion or your wisdom boldly on social media, even though you are not 100% confident yet. Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Rooted in the Cosmos, your podcast for all things spiritual leadership, higher consciousness, and New Earth vision. My name is Isabel Gloria. I'm your host, and I'm welcoming you to this brand new episode. Today's episode is inspired by messages that I get from you guys. So whenever I check my DMs, I see a lot of you reaching out about the first steps on how to start your spiritual journey online and how to start sharing content online, how to gain the confidence to finally express yourself. What I've noticed from these messages is that a lot of you are in the process of finding ways to express yourselves. So you may feel that you have a higher calling. You may feel that you eventually will have a spiritual business, but that is not where you are right now. Where you are right now is that you want to start sharing spiritual content online. You want to express yourself on social media. You want to step into this next version of you who is presenting themselves as a leader. That may be where you are right now, and you may not know where to start and how to get the confidence to show up as this person. So in today's episode, I want to give you a little bit of guidance on where you can start, but also how you can tangibly start social media and how you can tangibly work on your own success and what you can do to reach the right people. If you're looking at coaches and content creators and guides online who are working in the spiritual field, and you feel like you really belong there, you are meant to be one of them, but there is so much in between where you are right now and where you want to be. It can be very, very intimidating to even start because you feel like there is so much in between. There is so much you haven't achieved yet to be there. And first of all, I want to start off by saying it can happen so fast. I've seen a lot of creators with my own eyes, whether I was following them themselves or they were clients. I saw that a lot, that people started social media and it was growing slowly over a period of time. And then suddenly things started to take off, things started to align, things started to gain a lot of momentum and a lot of engagement happened and a lot of traffic happened on their pages, on their social media pages. So you never know what's going to happen. If you start today, you don't know where you will be in 6 months from now. It could be a slow growth. It could be a kickstart and you grow rapidly. You never know. The important thing is that you trust that everything happens in divine timing. So even if you have a slower start, don't see that as something negative. See that as something that is preparing you for the success that you are manifesting. Because if you feel called to step into this leader role, if you feel called to eventually have a spiritual business and all these things, that is meant for you. That is not just a human desire. That is a desire that has been planted within you by your cosmic self. So you have the urge and the motivation to find your path and to do everything you can to fulfill this void or this feeling that you have that needs to be fulfilled. If you know what I'm talking about, you know exactly how that feels. That feeling in your heart and soul that there is more out there for you and that you need to find the way to find out what that really is. If you have that feeling, there is definitely a way for you to get to the answer of how this feeling can be fulfilled and how this hole can be filled that you feel within, because that's literally what you're meant to do here. A light worker always has this mission that is driving them crazy sometimes because we are meant to find out what exactly we're meant to do. Let's assume you are a total beginner who wants to start with social media, or you may not be a beginner, but you want to revamp your entire message and you want to be really clear on what your message is. What I would do is to first identify what aspects of spirituality resonate most deeply with you and how they have shaped you personally. Life is always the best teacher. If you have any certifications or if you have taken courses or something like that, this is amazing and this can help you on your spiritual journey. But just because you do a Reiki course or you do a life coaching training doesn't mean that you are going to be the best Reiki master or that you are going to be the best life coach. It really depends on your own life experiences. And I trust deeply that life prepares you for your tasks and for the things you're meant to teach. So I believe that you have had challenges in your life, but also blessings in your life that have shaped you and that will help you on your journey. Without having the mind involved in this process, feel into what truly drives you. What is it that you're passionate about? What is it in your life that you can share about because you've made your own experiences, good and bad? Also think about how these experiences, good and bad, have shaped your perspective and how spirituality or the things you want to teach to others have helped you in those situations, have helped you in life. You are most likely the best teacher in those areas where you have personal experience and the areas in life that have been highlighted for you. So think about your own life and you will find an answer for what you are meant to do or where you can start. It doesn't always have to be a linear journey. So even though you may feel like you want to start with a certain topic and start sharing about this, it doesn't have to be the same topic for the next 5 years. It can change and shift and realign. But the important thing is that you start somewhere and you start with what you have from where you are now. What I often see in clients who are at the very beginning of their journey, so they come to me to build their social media, they come to me to get clarity on their mission, on what they want to share, on how they start their business basically. And what I often notice is that they feel like they first have to achieve something to be able to teach clients or to be able to have a voice online. And I'm saying this with all my love, but that doesn't make sense. You cannot expect yourself to have experience without going through the process of experiencing things. So you have to be open to accept clients even though you don't feel 100% ready. You have to be okay with posting your opinion or your wisdom boldly on social media, even though you are not 100% confident yet. These are all little initiations to become the person that you are meant to become and also to become a more confident version of yourself. You have to grow into that role and you cannot skip a step. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is a huge part of being a content creator, but also of being a spiritual entrepreneur. You have to be okay with constantly expanding your comfort zones and with constantly making yourself uncomfortable, because that is what growth feels like sometimes. That is how you grow. And that is how everyone that you may look up to has grown their audience, has grown their offers, has grown their 6-7 figure business. It only works if you allow yourself to see yourself in your highest version at all times, and then take action steps and actually do what is necessary to get closer to that higher version of yourself. And that's what you constantly do. Let's go back to what I would suggest you to do if you want to start with social media or if you want to realign your message. Think of the person you want to serve. Think of your target audience and the people who would benefit from the content that you have to share, from the life experiences that you can talk about. It is very important to understand who you want to reach and who you talk to be able to grow a community that is very engaged and loyal. If you talk to just anybody, it may stick with some people and you may slowly grow over time. But what is way more powerful and way more effective is when you narrow down your message to one specific group of people. Again, the same applies here. Your dream audience and your dream client can shift and realign and change over time, but you should have some clarity around who you want to talk to when you first start. So don't just post all over the place, all the topics you can think about. Find a red thread that ties them all together and find a target audience that feels personally talked to whenever they see your posts. Another thing that may seem obvious, but not a lot of people think about that, is that you have to choose your platforms and choose how you want to express yourself. I always recommend to my clients to create a sense of omnipresence. So to not just rely on one platform, to spread your wisdom on different platforms and also make different content on different platforms. That is how you reach the most amount of people you can reach. And that is also how you create a business that has a lot of different areas. You're not dependent on one app. You're not dependent on one social network. You are creating this online omnipresence and you are known as the person rather than as the Instagram handle. So when you think about this right now in 2024, Instagram is the aesthetic platform. It is the platform where you can go crazy with video editing, where you can go crazy with aesthetics, where you can post a lot of curated and aesthetically pleasing and beautiful content that is inspiring and pleasing to the eye. On TikTok, however, it's not so important that it looks pretty. It's more important that the value is there. So on TikTok, you don't have to stress so much about aesthetics. You can just film your videos. You can share content and value in a very easy setting. You don't have to worry about cutting beautiful aesthetic videos or creating beautiful aesthetic locations where you shoot in. It doesn't really matter on TikTok. The important thing on TikTok is to connect with people personally. They want to have that FaceTime feeling. They want to feel like they're on a FaceTime call with you and you're sharing something with them. It's less time consuming and less complicated to create TikTok content because the aesthetics don't matter that much. I would still recommend, if you have a brand and if you want to have an aesthetic that is visible on all platforms, to include that in easy ways. For example, wear a dress that fits your branding colors, have a bouquet of flowers in the background that fit your branding colors. Simple things like that. You can still make aesthetic content in that sense, but you don't have to overdo it on TikTok, and it actually works better if you're just showing up naturally. On YouTube, for example, even though you have a specific topic that you talk about in your business and on social media, on YouTube, you can go a little bit astray. You can show a little bit more of your life. People want lifestyle content. They want to see you as a person, as like a role model, or as this inspiring person that allows them to have a peek into their life. So in this example, your Instagram content, your TikTok content, and your YouTube content would be three very different things. You still want to make sure you have a red thread and it all fits together somehow, but it shouldn't be all the same content on three different platforms. That is not the purpose of omnipresence. That is not how you grow a community that actually cares about you. So what you want to do is to create different content on different platforms so people want to follow you on all three of them. Whenever I work on their content schedule and on their personalized content strategy with my clients, I provide a template for them where they can add the minimum of content that they aim to post on the different platforms every week. And I want them to keep that on their phone for quick reference. It's very helpful to decide on a weekly fixed schedule that has the minimum of content you want to post so that you don't feel overwhelmed. You can always do more, but that is what you aim to stick with. It also looks a lot less overwhelming when you look at it day by day. So for example, Monday is an Instagram feed post, 2 TikToks, an email. Tuesday is a newsletter, a podcast episode, and 1 TikTok. Wednesday is 2 Instagram posts, a YouTube video, and 1 TikTok. These are just random examples that I just made up in my mind, so don't stick with those. But this really helps you to stay consistent with your content and to take it seriously and to have a plan that you want to stick to. The important thing is that this template is the minimum of what you want to do for your business. So doing more is always good, but even in times where you don't have enough time or when something is coming up in your life, you can still stick to that minimum of content every week. This way, things can happen in your personal life without you neglecting your mission and your business. You have to start taking it really seriously and move away from the hobby mindset. You don't post because you have a hobby. You don't post only because it's fun. You post because you have a higher reason to post. You post because you feel the deep urge to share your message, and you also want to create a life that you are fulfilled in by sharing content and by stepping into this leadership role and sharing yourself as a teacher, as a mentor, as a guide, as someone who is a content creator and inspires others. Whatever your purpose of doing it is, you need to remind yourself of your why and remind yourself that it's not just a casual thing that you can forget about as soon as something comes up in your life or as soon as you don't feel like posting that day. It's a very important task in your business, in your life. And having a content schedule with the minimum of content that you aim to post really helps you to stick with it. My last and probably most important tip is that you need to engage with your potential community. The algorithm helps us to reach the right people. We can use hashtags. It knows our words. It knows what we post. It learns that we post about certain things. So it shows that to people that could be interested in your content. But you can't completely rely on the algorithm to show your content to the right people. You have to include manual, what I call engagement sprints in your work routine. I'm going to share with you the exact steps that I do at least twice a week. Every day would be ideal, but I do them at least twice a week. I start with my DM conversations. What you do is that you go through your DMs and you reconnect with people and potential clients that you haven't talked to in a while. Ask them questions and see them in their highest version. Always see them in their highest potential. Even if they have limiting beliefs, even if they are unsure of themselves, make sure you lead the conversation and create the safety for them to open up. When they open up, they will talk about their limiting beliefs. They will talk about their goals. They will talk about what is keeping them from achieving set goals and what patterns they may repeat. And you can work with that and reflect back to them how they can improve their mindset or improve their actions to actually get to where they want to be. This really depends on your content and on the realm of work you're in. My conversations with potential clients are probably very different from those of a feminine embodiment coach. But you get the idea. You want to show interest in their journey, and you want to position yourself as a guide who helps them from A to B. When you talk to potential clients and to the people you stay in touch with over time, you want to make sure that they gain actual value from the conversations with you. But you also want to make sure that you don't end up coaching them for free in the DMs. That would be really unfair to all of your paying clients, and that also takes away too much of your precious energy. After the DM conversations, I go on to nourishing my community. What I do is I go through my own followers list and engage with 25 new women that I haven't talked to before. I like a couple of their posts. I leave a comment on a post that I really like. I react to their story. I just engage with their content and with their profile. Instead of going through your followers list, you can also check out your recent posts and go through the comments and the likes that people left there and engage with those people. These people are already aware of your content. They're already engaging. So you are nourishing people within your community by doing that. The last step in this routine is to find new leads. What I do here is I find 25 new women who are not following me and I engage with their content. How I find them and how I know that they would benefit from my content and that they would find value in what I have to share is that I go through hashtags that fit my brand, that fit my business, or I go to the comment sections and the likes of other creators from my niche who do similar things than I do. That's how I manually attract new people to my profile. And this whole routine takes me about 1 hour to 1.5 hours whenever I do it. The results I've noticed is that at least 1/3 of the new women I connect with follow me and they start engaging with my content. So over time, you attract a lot of new people to your profile with this technique. And you also make sure that your community is slowly growing and it's organic growth. There is no fake followers. There is no fake strategy behind what you do that just attracts a bunch of people to your profile that don't care about what you post. You're actually engaging with people organically who know who you are, who know what you stand for, who have connected with you before, and who may be potential dream clients. Take your time when you reach out to these new people. You don't have to go through their entire profile every time and watch every highlight they have, but you want to make sure you connect with people who would actually benefit from the work you do. It's not about just having a lot of people on your profile. You actually want to help people. You want to get yourself in front of the people who would actually benefit and gain value from the work that they can do with you or from the content that you share completely for free. It's not just about numbers here, it's also about impact and impacting those who can really benefit from your work, from your mission, from your light worker journey, and from all the things that you can share with them and help them with. These were some simple but tangible tips for you to start your spiritual business journey or to start creating content online. And I really hope that this gives you a guideline on what you can do now. You can start today. You can start going through the engagement routine today. No one is holding you back but yourself. If you found these tips valuable, make sure to check out the Cosmic Wanderers mentorship, because I feel like this was maybe 0.5% of what we do in the Cosmic Wanderers mentorship. And if you are the person who really wants to take their social media seriously this year and who wants to grow a business and a social media presence that is absolutely in alignment with your soul purpose and with a fulfilling job and career, the Cosmic Wanderers mentorship is going to help you do that, and I'm going to help you do that. You have full access to me in the Cosmic Wanderers mentorship. It's not the usual course where you just watch a couple of videos and you never get in touch with your mentor outside of calls. It's not that at all. We are working on your business together, and I want your success just as much as you do, because I, with all my heart and soul, believe in this bigger vision of making the world a better place by us conscious leaders stepping up, creating a beautiful life for ourselves, impacting our clients in the most beautiful way, and creating a beautiful vision for the collective to see. You can find the link to the Cosmic Wanderers mentorship in the show notes. You can also find my Instagram, my TikTok, and an email address if you want to reach out to me. And that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you start implementing these tips right away and get started and feel really fired up to take action. Talk to you next Sunday.